Hello friends, I hope you all are doing well. So today we'll be starting with our continued topic of this lesson, which is harmful microorganisms. Earlier in this chapter we have already studied about the useful microorganism, fermentation, antibiotics and all. Now we are going to go forward with the harmful microorganisms. As we all can see that in our daily experience, if we talk about, we make pickles, we make jams and murabbas, etc., where we use a lot of sugar in it, isn't it? And often what happens is after a very long time you can see a white patches or white or black precipitate sort of things, or some layer of white and black spots sort of, which you can see on the surface of these pickle and jams which you have made. And because we store it for a very long time, so we have to be very cautious that no bacteria or germ can enter through it, or we should not keep it open for a very long time because we are using it for a very long time, isn't it? So how it is happening? And also we experience that in summer season milk and meat get spoiled very quickly if you're not going to take care properly, or if you're not going to store it properly. So fungus grow quickly on the moist and stale food, so it is because of fungus. And this fungus causes these food to spoil. But what exactly it is happening and why? It is because of food poisoning. You must have heard that many people got sick because of food poisoning and they got admitted. What happens basically is this fungus, it releases a toxin material which is also called as enterotoxin, which is generated in this fungus, and they secrete it out on the food material. And when we eat that, this poison goes inside our body and it is harmful for our health. All right, so because of this, what happens, we become weak and sick. So we have to be a little alert and cautious that we are eating freshly prepared food. All right, and it should be made in a hygienic place. So such toxin spoil the food, and eating such spoiled food can cause loose motions or vomiting, which is very very normal. But then again, because of food poisoning, it can be very severe as well. Now always remember that eat fresh and properly covered food, drink boiled water, especially in the winter season. As you can see, this virus is going on, this pandemic is going on, so you have to take care of your health. So drink boiled water. You can actually cool it later on and then also you can use it. All right, hold a handkerchief on your mouth and nose when you are coughing or sneezing, and don't allow garbage and water to accumulate around your house. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Now, this is, we all know, and we have already celebrated many events related to this in our school every year. So, almost 80% of all diseases occur due to uncleanliness. How many? How much? It is 80%. So, keeping in your surrounding clean, avoiding litter, and disposing garbage properly, avoiding defecation in the open are some easy way to stop the spread of diseases. And basically, we all know that being into a hygienic place is obviously is not good for physical health but also mental health. So we have to be very aware of the cleanliness around our home, and that is why we have all this we have all, our government has started with Swachh Bharat Abhiyan movement. And I know my all students have participated in this and they were very active. So let us participate in this movement by starting a cleanliness drive in our school and neighborhood. Obviously, we cannot do it right now, as in a club together or doing anything together, but at least being an individual, you can keep your house clean. It's not a responsibility of elders, but every one of us has this responsibility to, at least whatever we are using, for example plastics, we are not throwing it in somewhere, if you are traveling through buses or local train, in the local train or bus, because it is not our property, we think like that. But then if you have any wrappers which you have to dispose of, then you can actually keep it in your bag for a while, and then you, when you get a standard place or a dustbin, then you can throw it out, then you can dispose it off, right? So just be very careful about your own action. We don't need to, tell any other person, but at least start from ourselves. And those who can listen to you, it is your duty, when you see someone who is disposing the material on wrong place, at least tell them once. All right. Now, what are pathogens? Pathogens, as the heading says, it is disease producing microorganisms. So, those microorganisms who produce some disease, all right. So, pathogens may be present in water bodies contaminated with sewage and dirt from the surrounding, and also food left uncovered in unhygienic condition with houseflies sitting on it, etc. So we always say that cover your food, and it should be in a proper hygienic place. Why? Because these flies, they sit, I don't know where and where not. So it can actually spread the pathogen from a dirty place to your food. So especially, where the in the if you have any infant in your house, they get very much sensitive towards this pathogen, because they have very less immunity, or also the old age people, they have very less immunity in them, so they get affected very easily. If such contaminated food or water is consumed, we may fall with ill with diseases like alimentary canal, like amoebiasis, typhoid, cholera. This cholera, already we know, very very dangerous disease actually. Hepatitis, gastrointestinal diseases, etc. So all these diseases is caused due to these pathogens, which is microorganisms causing diseases. So pathogens are released in air when a person having an infection of the respiratory tract sneezes or cough. So this corona pandemic is also infectious disease, and this spreads by sneezing or coughing if a person is already infected with the virus. So a healthy person may get infected with such pathogens when breathing in the same air, and contract diseases like common cold, cough, diphtheria, pneumonia, tuberculosis, etc. Now, mosquitoes reproduce in a place like heaps of garbage, drainage. As you can see, we always say that do not keep we always say that do not keep anything, any bucket or something filled with water, because mosquito grows in it, also in stagnant water, etc. So microbes that cause diseases like malaria, dengue, elephantiasis, yellow fever, chikungunya, zika fever, etc. gain entry to the human body through the bite of female mosquito. Always remember, the mosquito which bites you is female mosquito and not male mosquito. Why? Because female mosquito needs blood for the reproduction and for laying the eggs and larva, but male can live with these flower, or you can say plant sap. So these mosquito is spreading disease because they have these microorganisms in them. Okay, so make sure to check. Number one, is the water tank and the water in it is clean? Is it or not? Are the water tanks and toilets in the school clean? If not, then you can complain to the higher authorities or teacher. Is the water that accumulates in pots, tires, cans, etc. around the house drained promptly? If it is not, then you have to take care of it, that you are changing the water, or if the water is there, then you have to empty it. And then, are the water storage containers cleaned regularly? So even when you store water, it has to be very cleaned. And what exactly happens when we have fever? What happens? Basically, your body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. So if you feel any rise in the temperature, that means if the body temperature goes beyond 37 degrees Celsius, then you have fever. So if a microorganism entered in your body, your immune system starts to fight against it, and this is why you become quite, you can say, you feverish. That means your temperature increases. All right. And also if you will see the on the site of injury, अगर आपको कहीं चोट लग जाती है तो वहाँ पे थोड़ा सा वो एरिया गरम गरम सा हो जाता है। क्यों? बिकॉज आपका इम्यूनिटी जो है वो वहाँ पे जाके फाइट करती है। मतलब कि क्या, आपके बॉडी के जो सेल्स होते हैं वो उस जहाँ पे आपको चोट लगी है वहाँ जाते हैं, और अगर वहाँ से कोई बैक्टीरिया या माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म आपके बॉडी के अंदर जाने की कोशिश करता है तो उसे रोकते हैं। तो इसीलिए वहाँ का जो बॉडी का जो टेम्परेचर होता है उस एरिया का जहाँ पे आपको चोट लगी है वो थोड़ा सा गर्म हो जाता है, और स्वेलिंग भी वहाँ पे आ जाती है बहुत ही जल्दी। सो इट इज़ ऑल अ पार्ट ऑफ योर बॉडी रिएक्शन एंड हीलिंग। So here, what is the correlation between the normal body temperature of human, which is 37 degrees Celsius, and the optimum temperature for the growth of microorganism is 15 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius? Because see, your body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius, so even in your body also microorganisms can grow happily because the temperature is quite favorable for them, isn't it? So this is all for today. I hope you all are understanding this chapter, and complete the exercise now. We'll be having in the next session, we'll be having the exam. So take care and keep reading.